The Lion Tribe is a rally cry calling for the protection of children. We need you in this fight. We need all hands on deck to save and preserve the unborn, the born, the orphans, the trafficked, and the deceived. I could use your support. Let's be honest. This fancy gear doesn't come cheap. Sitting in front of this camera takes time, takes effort, takes energy. Please visit the Lion Tribe website at theliontribe.org. There's a donate button if you would like to support me. Families often find it hard to understand and accept their child's gender diverse traits because of personal beliefs, social pressure, and stigma. See, there's a pesky little thing that liberals do with this subject. They treat parents of children as if they were just born yesterday. As if all parents in the world are just naive and they have no life experience and are just a bunch of numbskulls. They want parents to think of themselves that way, so that every time a liberal physician speaks about transgenderism, the parents just stand there in awe of how genius it is. They also want both the children and their own parents to feel alien to each other, despite the fact that parents understand their children far better than any doctor, psychiatrist, or professor. In communities with high levels of support, it was found that non-supportive families tended to increase their support over time, leading to dramatic improvement in mental health outcomes among their children who identified as transgender. So here we are again with the claim of trans your kids or they'll die, followed by but all they need is just one person to affirm their true selves. Then they'll be safer. Then they go with, it's better to have the whole neighborhood in on this so the non-affirming parents feel ostracized until they cave. Parents, even if your entire adult neighborhood, even if everyone on your block is convinced that 2 + 2 = 5, you need to make a point that you have the ultimate say in what goes in your children's ears, what is taught to them. Pediatric providers can create a safe environment for parents and families to better understand and listen to the needs of their children while receiving reassurance and education. It is often appropriate to assist the child in understanding the parent's concerns as well. Despite expectations by some youth with transgender identity for immediate acceptance after coming out, family members often proceed through a process of becoming more comfortable and understanding of the youth's gender identity, thoughts, and feelings. One model suggests that the process resembles grieving, wherein the family separates from their expectations for their child to embrace a new reality. This process may proceed through stages of shock, denial, anger, feelings of betrayal, fear, self-discovery, and pride. Of course, parents who feel pressured into this by neighbors, friends, church members, and doctors, of course they're going to feel grief, especially if they're being told that the children that they gave birth to and that they raised themselves, that they no longer exist. Now, as far as the stages of processing this, the only way parents really should react when they hear information like this, they should be shocked that so many grown people have fallen for some of the most ridiculous lies that even second graders could spot. Denial that you yourself will ever fall for those same lies unless, God forbid, you develop dementia or have sudden brain damage by some freak accident. Anger at all the groomers trying to persuade your children that you are wrong and trying to destroy your family unity by sowing mistrust. Feelings of betrayal if any of your closest friends and family ever try this garbage with your kids. Fear that any of them meaning the adults in the lives of your children, try to seek time alone with your kids. Self-discovery, when you realize that you are physically, metaphorically and or legally capable of knocking sense into adults who might try the safe space secret keeping with your kids. And, of course, pride after the fact that your kid remains grounded in this reality and not the nightmarish fairy tale that liberals want for them. Regardless of whether a youth with a gender diverse identity ultimately identifies as transgender, challenges exist in nearly every social context, from lack of understanding to outright rejection, isolation, discrimination, and victimization. In the U.S. transgender survey of nearly 28,000 respondents, it was found that among those who were out as or perceived to be TGD between kindergarten and 8th grade, 54% were verbally harassed, 24% were physically assaulted, and 13% were sexually assaulted. 17% left school because of maltreatment. Education and advocacy from the medical community on the importance of safe schools for youth who identify as TGD can have a significant effect. The fact that they said that this survey, this U.S. transgender survey, surveying 28,000 respondents, they're saying these TGD youth between kindergarten and 8th grade. Think about the ages of these kids, 5 to 13? Their kids that young are claiming to be transgender. It's nonsense. Anyways, one of the other points I wanted to make: verbal harassment, bullying, name calling, unearned violence. Those things are terrible, and they should definitely be condemned. They should definitely be followed up with appropriate disciplinary actions. No matter what a child calls him or herself, they do deserve to feel safe. School environments play a significant role in the social and emotional development of children. Every child has a right to feel safe and respected at school. That I fully agree with. But for youth who identify as TGD, this can be challenging. Nearly every aspect of school life may present safety concerns and require negotiations regarding their gender expression, including name/pronoun use of bathrooms and locker rooms, sports teams, dances and activities, overnight activities, and even peer groups. Conflicts in any of these areas can quickly escalate beyond the school's control to larger debates among the community and even on a national stage. No negotiation is even required if people would just grow spines and stand up for what's true. Denouncing transgender lies isn't hard, but backlash that you might get is the interesting part. It is unconstitutional to force school employees to call students by their preferred pronouns. It's not discriminatory to adhere to a student's birth name and gender. Let's get that straight. It's not. And again, it's unconstitutional to force people to use pronouns that they don't believe in, that they don't agree with. That's compelled speech. It's also just plain stupid and dangerous to have boys and girls using the same bathrooms, locker rooms, dorms, and competing with each other in contact sports. Bizarro world, folks.